alerts for tonight because November 8, 2025, residents of Anambra State will elect a new governor. With this, the political terrain of Anambra State is charged as 4 political parties are faced with the responsibility of electing who becomes their candidate. The contending political parties will include the All Progressives Congress, People's Democratic Party, and Labour Party are poised to challenge the ruling All Progressives Grand Alliance in the state. Nicholas Ukachukwe, candidate of the APC, who hopes to unseat the incumbent governor, Soludo, joins me now to speak about his vision and mission for Anambra. Good evening, Mr. Ukachukwe. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Nice being here.
Thank you. So it's been a month since you became the flag bearer of APC and the next governorship election. And I believe you know all eyes are now on you to deliver. And this is based on what your party members are looking forward to unseat a popular governor like Professor Charles Soludo. I really want to know how you're handling the pressure that comes with such expectation.
Well, thank you very much. It's something one knows that will be, and it's something one is already known, have an experience, have been part of what's going on. I've been part of politics since inception of this democratic dispensation. Since 1998, I've been involved, I've been part of it. So it's something that we're used to. And it comes and goes, was it eye on the ball.
So you polled 1,455 votes, while the next person, Valentine Osigwe, recorded just 67 votes. That's a wide margin. And many are wondering how you did that, because I know this is not your first time of trying to win a primary election. You've succeeded just once or twice. Rough ride, I must say, having moved from the PDP, PPA, HDP, ABGA, and now with the APC, it looks like a walk in the park for you. What was different this time? Is it true that the APC only compensated you because you threw a lot of money around? How true is that?
Well, that's everybody's. People are free to say or think what they want to say, but the truth remains the truth. Well, I think my victory comes from the point that APC want to win Anambra State government. Anambra State are resolute in bringing Anambra back to the center. And they want somebody who is credible, who will not be coming to tell Anambra people, oh, this is what I will do. But you come from the point, I have done this, and I will continue to do this. And then this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to bring on board. And they haven't known, like you said, I've run for primaries of major parties like PDP twice, and I won the primaries. And somewhere along the line, something happened for obvious reason, then it did not materialize. So everybody have known that it's about capacity. They want to win. They don't want to try luck with their ticket anymore. Giving it to somebody, and at the end of the day, it will not work out. So this time, they decided to go for the best, and best alone. So that's why they were so resolute. It's not about money. It's not about what we are giving or not giving. It's about who can win, who can bring Anambra to the center, who can make Anambra great again. Because they are tired of being in a cycle. So they are resolute in one word. We want the best to stand in for us. So I didn't know that victory is going to come, is going to be for them, and then for everybody. And then if you look at it from that angle, it means that for that number of people, out of 1,630 people, 1,455 was speaking the same thing, means there's something they are seeing. And once that primary work was concluded, and then the results were announced, they are saying now they were not wrong, because there are many other people from APOGA, from other political parties that are flocking into APC, because they know, no, this time around, APC is going to take Anambra State. It's not because I'm saying it because I'm running, but because that's facts on ground, and somebody can shake that. So it comes from also the point that there was nobody interfered. The president, who is a Democrat, decided that let the best emerge. The party being led also by the national chairman and the working committee wanted the best to emerge. So it wasn't business as usual. It now becomes about who are you? What have you done? and what are you bringing on the table, that if we give you the ticket, you're going to win. It is based on that they said, we must go for this man. And that's why I give me the vote. And I thank God and I thank them for that trust and confidence, which I will never betray. And I've seen the reality and how much we're able to pay this short time that the primary has been concluded.
And it's important for me to say, perhaps he did better than others, because I'm sure you know Paul Chukwuma is now with the YPP. This was another person who thought it should have been him. Why you? After all, he built or rehabilitated a new secretariat for the party. So he thought it was only normal for him to have been compensated with that ticket. But you say you're tired of being a godfather, and now you want to be the father of the father. No more godfatherism. I find that very interesting. So if truly no one has become a governor in Anambra State without your support, just as you've put it, and, you know, infrastructure, roads, healthcare, and educational infrastructure still need significant improvement in many parts of the state. Also, unemployment and underemployment among young people is a persistent issue. Isn't that an implication or a dent on your candidature? I mean, how do you intend to convince Anambra people that you're the best for them if your mentees or godsons have not done excellently well in transforming the states, except you're, you know, exaggerating your influence? Mr. Ukachukwe.
You see, Jumoke, let me just put it straight here. Nobody will ever come up and say that this is what Nicholas Ukachukwe said, and that he said is not the truth, because facts and the truth are just obvious. It's something you can see. Nobody will tell you tomorrow your name is not Jumoke. You will not agree because it doesn't like you. That's your name. If you change it tomorrow, that's another thing. I am Anambra, like I said, that kind of confidence that is posed on me by that number of people come from the point that if Nicholas Ukachukwe said he will fix road, no, with his own money, he has done several kilometers of road with drain here and there for his people. If he said, oh, we're going to make sure that people get employment, the things that has to be right for things to work for our people who are traders and manufacturers to be able now to have a boost, and farmers should be encouraged. If Prince Nicholas is saying that, he's talking from the point that he has done that. He has taken that step. I've said repeatedly, outside Anambra State government, I used to be the highest employer of labor in Anambra. I built 12 industries, employ 1,043 people. And the factory is under lock and key because the indicators, the indices that makes business work is lacking. And then I feel for those workers who are not there, who are no more working, who are no more earning the living. And the factory is under lock and key where 6 of our expatriates were kidnapped at the time and were paid heavily. And after that, the remaining people, 60-something of them, left. And it's not factory that we can. So we're trying to train people, but still you still need expatriate to be able to. We have sent people abroad to be trained to take over, so that we have backward integration. But at the same time, so I have to fix the security for that factory to work, and other factories also that's under lock and key to work. I have done roads, but it's not about doing roads. Those roads we have done, you can be on it and you'll be kidnapped. And then so it's become a shop for kidnappers. So we need to secure the state, and so that people can be able to enjoy the road and then be able to work. And at the same time, the factories are struggling, and God has given us natural resources. We have a gas deposit, and one of our illustrious sons, Cletus Ebeto, Omekania of Newi, has dug a well, one of the wells, and is producing CNG gas from there. And then is proving to be one of the biggest reserves in Nigeria in terms of gas. So what's about putting a power plant there, put a cluster of industry there, and then we have cheap energy. Anybody who comes from China, India, everywhere, because every company is looking for where to be able to have an edge to compete favorably around the world. They will come naturally. It's like dropping a sugar somewhere. Ants will come no matter how clean this place is. So all those indicators are the ones we will need to put in place.
Right.
So I'm not coming, I'm not actually muzzled or what's going on, because I have been solving it by myself. I've given my people improved seeds in order for them to have a wonderful harvest. This is what I have been doing, not just because of politics, but I love my people.
Right, and I'm sure
part of the story of Anambra State.
Mr. Ukachukwe, I'm sure Anambra people appreciate this personal investment into the state. Can you hear me, Mr. Ukachukwe?
Yes, very well.
Right. So I said I'm sure a number of people appreciate these huge investments, this personal investments into the state. But do these personal investments make you the best candidate for the state?
You see, it's about character. It's about track record. If your character is right and your track record can be proven, then people can trust you with their mandate. That's about what it is. It's about character. It's about integrity, it's about honor, and it is about your track record, what you have achieved, what you have done. This is who I am, this is what I've done, this is what I will do. Then everybody will believe that, oh, wow,
well, I hear you talk about track record, but is it really about character? Because, I mean, we have people with good characters who have underperformed. So is it basically about character? And I'm asking some of those questions because under the right trajectory, APC Anambra should be, maximizing her electoral capabilities and tapping into that political relevance of the party at the center. It's been about 9 years. But from my recent conversation with some of the stakeholders in the party, it still looks like the party has become a formidable opposition force in Anambra State, but now has that chance to redefine its political legacy in the southwest region. But after the primary election, people are leaving your party. They're talking about manifest absence of internal democracy and commitments within the state chapter of the party. Isn't this a setback for your party?
Oh, that's just like somebody who is trying to do those kind of sci-fi movies. When they say people are leaving, we should be able to break it down. Paul Chukuma left the party. For obvious reasons, I don't want to actually make it an issue here. And people say these people left for him. He came from one local government they call Anambra East. These are just facts I'm presenting to you. Anambra East. In that Anambra State, there are 15 wards. Out of those 15 wards, each of the wards have 27-man executive. Only two ward chairmen would have the 26 ward executive left. The rest were intact. So would that say that many people are leaving? No. And also, the party chooses to win election this time, and they wanted somebody with track record, somebody who wanted that. Nobody has won his local government or some of his local government that actually he has a political covering over without his support. He's not going to be compared with someone who left the party that even when he was coordinator for presidential election, he got 1 vote in his polling unit. When he was DG campaign of a governorship election, the previous one of Anduba, he lost his polling booth. If that person leaves the party because somebody has come to show credence and show that he has the capacity, show capacity, would that say that people are leaving the party? It doesn't go that way. That's not what it is. People live and live with people. Don't forget, the same people that say they are leaving, many are joining APC. And in in 2 weeks' time, you, TVC, will be invited. Come and see the people joining. Also, don't forget, I was a board of trustee member of APUGA. I ran Senate on that same APUGA. I got about 60,000 votes. And then I've left, and I had people who are in House of Assembly and House of Rep in that same APUGA. And I ran joint ticket with Soludo in that APUGA, in this governorship that I won now, on the Supreme Court decided that Soludo is the right candidate. Meaning, if I have left the party and joined APC, meaning I left with all those by support into APC. That's what we call massive exodus. That is massive exodus because I left into APC and I left with my own people and my supporters. That's what can say people are leaving. But APC, after primaries, 1 or 2 people who felt, that they would have the same business as usual, using the future of people to trade. They say, no, we want to give someone who capacity to win an election, and you're not happy you left. You left with who? 2 ward chairmen.
So what you're saying now is that he has no electoral value and would not be missed in the party. Is that what you're saying?
Let me just add to what you said. But let me just say, not just the electoral value. He has been in that party when my brother, late Ifeanyi came in. When Ifeanyi came into the party followed him because they knew that Ifeanyi would have won if actually he was alive. So they still left him. After Ifeanyi died, he continued his way of politics. And then people like us were asked to join APC to give them the leadership they need and then provide ourselves so that we can be able to win the election. so we can win that governorship election. Because we have helped other people win. Like you do mention, I said, I don't want to be godfather anymore.
Yeah.
People may get that statement out of context. They might get it out of context. What I said is, I have been supporting people as being a godfather as a leadership role in supporting people to be governors of Anambra State. From the first time this dispensation till now, nobody has been governor without my support or contribution. And what I said, I'm tired of contributing to people to be governors of Anambra State. And at the same time, my visions for Anambra, what I believe Anambra should be, and Anambra where it should be by this time, which we have discussed before that support. Some of them will do a bit of it, some will not do at all. And I said, it's better now that the visioner to come actualize the vision, because nobody can do it better than the visioner. I want to see Anambra somewhere in the next few years, if God gives me victory. That's why I'm coming to APC. And then that's what I'm going to champion. And that's why I said, instead of sending, I want to now go and do it and set example and precedence so other people can join me and do. That after being governor of Anambra State by God's special grace, if God gives me that victory, which I believe he will, then anybody who did not do well, Anambra will see him as a hypocrite. They will stone him on the road. Because I would have set example and people can start building. That's actually what I'm coming to do. And that's what I mean. I'm not sending. I want to go myself.
All right. So let's talk about the challenges in the state and whether or not you're capable of doing it better. Evidently, there is the issue of insecurity. Sons and daughters of the state are afraid that if care is not taken, if this is not nipped in the bud as soon as possible, Anambra State may become an ungovernable space. There are criminal elements scattered across the state, killing their own people. The government of the day says it has not stopped doing all it can to make the state safe and secure, but kidnappings and killings have continued unabated. How do you plan to tackle the ongoing security challenges in the state?
It's about will. It's about understanding the problem. It's about knowing the terrain. It's about knowing where to go and what to do. It's about being determined. It's about being involved. It's about being committed to where you are. There's some people that say that wherever the money of a man, the weight of a man is, that's where his heart is. If the present government have investment in Anambra State, have families in Anambra State, those ones who are being killed are their relations, and they have value for their lives, they could have waited to now before start finding solutions, because it is not rocket science. We have had insecurity in Anambra State before, and it was tackled head on, and then that disappeared. If they have wanted to do it, they would have done it. Not playing hide and seek with people's life, and got to a point that when now election is coming close, we went and brought some group of people that were not trained, and they are now murdering people here and there, and they are not accounting for those that are being killed. It's not those political dogs that will bring. No, it's about will, commitment. I give an example. If I have a factory, not only one, not two, not three, not four, up to 12. So if I want the factory to work, I must be able to do things that will make the factory work. And those things I will do that to make the factory work, other factories will benefit from it. Because it's not just me. It's an infrastructure. It's enablers. Everyone can tap into it. But if I don't have, I might say, oh, no, it doesn't work. So I'm coming from the point that we must be a shareholder, a partaker, and see ourselves that way before we can be able to tackle those problems that are facing us. But if we are not, we'll be nonchalant about it, like this government are. Okay, there are thousands of people that have been killed. What would their families say? That they use the life of their people for porn? Would they clap for you? This would have been averted. It's totally avoidable. But we'll choose to be speaking English and grammar, choose to be playing and then dangling around. It would be things that will have monopoly of knowledge, and then we could not be able to seek the right solutions and the right advice right there. Also, if you remember, one of the Reverend Fathers has said that a Reverend Father was kidnapped, and they reached out to him and other people. And he called the police. Police said they have nothing to go after those people. The state government has not been giving us funds. I will say to you, hear me again. I believe to say that the police in Anambra, security information in Anambra, I don't think this government are giving them more than even up to 5 or 2 vehicles. How do they want cargo crime? They bought vehicles and gave the attack dogs, they just set up and call it Agone Chamber. The main
so
institution
it's your word,
Mr.
Ukachukwe, it's your word against theirs, because the state government claims to have given more than 5 vehicles. But we'll come back to that in a moment. You know, if nothing changes, Mr. President would be in Anambra State tomorrow to commission several projects executed by the governor. And for the state government, this highlights the state's strides in infrastructure and development. The president is the leader of the party, and I'm sure that when he gets there tomorrow, he would have nice things to say about the governor, which, you know, the state governor and his party Abga would hold on to. And you know what, I mean, politicians would do with such statements. Are you worried about how that may affect your chances?
Our president, a father of APC, is a party man. He has total allegiance and loyalty to his party. He has repeatedly said in different places. But now, notwithstanding, you also know that the desperateness of Apoga, their desperation is alarming. They are playing to the gallery because they are no more on the ground. PC have taken the ground. They are trying to put math on APC. And that's why they're looking for a president to come and say, oh, he has performed, not performed. It's not about when you have built a government house, that our private houses are more expensive than the government house, and we're glad and applaud you when the major issues are not being tackled. And then also, don't forget, Governor built a house that he believes in and enjoying with his family. How can we clap for him? Or he will say it after, but this is his comfort. Wait,
Mr. Ukachukwe, I'm sure you're not trying to say that. I'm sure you're not trying to say that the president is going all the way to Anambra State to commission just the state government house. Oh no, it's not just the state government house. Okay. I'm just saying that even the government house was not started by this government. It was former our government of Obiano started the government house. He only completed it. The stadium and the amusement park was built by Obiano. He only completed it. So is he coming to complete a project that also completed? Because he's trying to play to the gallery to say, oh, I have done this, or because of that is clear for me. It's like the state is like a body. Body have eyes, I said it before, have nose, have ear, have hands. You can't say because the body is standing and the eyes is not working, the nose another one that is working. No, it has to be holistic. It cannot separate the other one because there's comfort with them. The other project has to do with endowment done by our leader, Tiwa Danjuma. He named after our leader, Chifanyoku. So, but the thing is that the road you're talking about, commissioning, we have done road with our money. The road call for commissioning of it. Why do people play to gather a commission project? Performing governor does not bother whether that commission or not. But when you become
he's
governor,
only playing politics to see.
Mr. Ukachukwe, or if you eventually become the governor, you would also commission projects.
I didn't hear your question again.
You're talking down on the governor commissioning projects and you're making it look like it's not a big deal. So I'm saying if you eventually become the governor of Anambra State, you would also commission projects. And I'm sure you would also want the president to come down and help and commission this project for you. So when you talk down on this kind of project, I wonder where you're driving at. No, by God's perspective, I'm governor. My people should talk and take about me. My work will speak for me. I won't play to the gallery. I won't come and then call the president, come and commission a house, I'm going to leave. If I'm going to commission a project, it must be major and mega. I won't come and commission a project that was started by president, almost finished, and I came to finish it. And we're talking about the state that received 18 to something billion naira monthly, showing that as what they've done. It's an embarrassment to people of Anambra State. It's not actually what I'm talking about. But that notwithstanding, what we're saying is, why are they looking for us when they have what it takes to win? That's the question. Why are they running to the center, making alliance, offering us, support us, we support the president? Why are they asking for it? Why are we going to support you and beg you for support when we can take it, when we can win it, when it's possible for us to win it, when even the facts on ground have shown the market people are not happy, the transporters are not happy, the church that is banned from preaching are not happy, and all those things are there. The people that number are being killed every day, kidnapped every day, they are not happy. Things are not working. The enablers and business indicators that help business to strive is not working. Per square kilometer of Anambra State is too small that we have forests where
kidnappers can keep people, which would have turned into agro land, and then make it an economic hub for people to be able to farm and then make money out of it. And we're not, because we are portraying some things that actually does not. Some of these roads actually we're talking about are federal government roads. There are many state roads that have not been done. You're looking for the one that will refund you money and then you're able to get to other ones. Why can't we face the challenges that's actually before Anambra State?
All right.
I'm telling you now, as you're listening, as you're hearing me, some communities, the divisional police of St. John's Commission has been deserted. Some communities, nobody can go into that place. Some communities, people have deserted, cannot go home. They can't farm. And then you left it, and then you'll be able now to do jamboree of doing a merry-go-round, a playground. You use the money of Anambra State, and then you build a playground in Oka, and then a playground that a private person would have done. And then who will go there? Can poor people from my village afford to go to Oka and go there? Or was that place not built with their money too?
All right.
So this and not knowing what to do. You just have no plan to offer your state. You would have known what your state needs more, and then attack it head on, than coming now to scrapple here and there, and then want to showcase it, announce it. Somebody does not have to announce himself. The things you do are supposed to speak for you. You don't have to speak for yourself.
All right then. I hear you, Mr. Ukachukwe. The next question I'd like to ask you is, what is your perception of accountability and transparency in government? How important do you consider it?
Sorry, come again.
Did you get my question? What is your perception of accountability and transparency in government? How important do you consider it?
It's making all the department works. Due process should work. You should not combine everything to yourself. You mind your office as a governor, be in charge of the policy, and allow those who execute it to execute it. That is separation of duty and work. You can't multiply everything and put it under your table and in charge of all. They cannot, for the name, oh, I'm the governor, then everything has to start and end at the table. No. Everybody, there will be check and balances. Things has to be transparent. There will be competitiveness in any contract award. Those things, those measures has to be there. That every cupboard that belongs to Anambra State should account for. And everyone can see the track record at the end of every year. We'll publish it. People will see what I've done.
Okay.
Let them publish how much they're taking as a security vote every month. Can they publish it? If they publish it, the state will just stone them. How much are they taking as security vote? And how secured is the state that taking such money?
Right.
Billions every month.
I asked that question
ask police.
I asked that question because, the government of the day committed to transparency in governance. Yet there are concerns about opaque contract awards and lack of full disclosure on state spending. So let's be clear so your people can hear you. Would you publish every contract and spending detail online for public scrutiny or for the purpose of transparency if elected? Yes or no?
Yes, of course. Not only that, before even that project is originated, the people that own the project should be part of the discussion. They will be part of it and know that this is actually what can be able now to, improve their lives and well-beings. And then when that happens, we'll advertise the project, people will compete for it, and as a governor, it is not my office. Somebody finish it and do their bid and do diligence, vet it so that we'll be getting value for our money. And then the supervisory part of it must be top-notch so that any money we commit in the project must have value for it. And so that we can be able to cut down for a project. And not awarding a job that I don't have money to pay. Because what's going on now is government of the day is going to everywhere awarding job because there's an election. And then we just open the road and left it. And he'll leave it. And then we'll go and do this one and leave it. It's not what we want now. But if God, by God's grace, being governor, transparency will be the watchword. And people will know and be informed of what's going on. My security vote, I'll be able to also make it public to those who are supposed to know about it. So it cannot just be me. Let them make public their security vote. And they will ask a number how secure that day with that kind of money being spent every month. And then we'll even ask the security men, the police, the DSS, the army, the civil defense, and other, how much you will get from this money every month. It's what actually that Nigeria are talking about. 1 month, 2 months security vote could have done most of this project they are commissioning. They are 1 year security vote. The money they collected 1 year as security vote will do most of this project they are starting the commission. So who is fooling who? You collect so much billions from the people as security vote, and then you do a little bit for them, and they clap for you, and nothing is working.
All right. Because, you know,
and when I say nothing is working,
would say,
you cannot wake up in the morning and say, I'm going out and return without grace of God and prayers.
All right. You know, anyone listening
people
would
that
say,
are trading.
Mr. Ukachukwe, you know, anyone listening would say it sounds this political for you to talk down on this administration because you have an ambition. Because really, budget ranks Anambra top in prudence. Number 1 in southern ease of doing business, all without a borrowed kobo. Over 739 kilometers of roads now slashed across the state, 420 kilometers commissioned. Governor Soludo says he has hired over 8,000 teachers, made public schools free, and spiked enrollment by 18.7%. According to the state government, a befitting government house stands after 34-year jinx. How do you plan to diversify Anambra's economy beyond trade and commerce?
Oh, let me also say, before I got to that point, let me just say this to you. Those are stories on paper. There's no 700 kilometers anywhere. Neither any 400 kilometers anywhere finished. None. 2, also want to say that the teachers he's talking about, the Anambra teachers are one of the most underpaid. They are not one of those who are not happy. Check the index and see where Anambra was in their national exams like WAEC and JAMB. We are now almost 10. Meaning the value of education is dropping drastically. And then the government is doing nothing about it because the people has to be happy. If they are happy, they can do better. If they are not happy, how can they give you the best? They are the worst paid. And also, remember there's minimum wage. Are they paying the minimum wage? Most of these things are not what you just said. Most of those things that say they've done this and done that, it does not exist. Good English and paper. It doesn't exist. I bet them, let them set up a committee, including us. Let's go and measure the road in 400 kilometers. It doesn't exist anywhere. You don't patch a road and measure it as road you have done. There's none anywhere. And most of those projects, there's no due process. No due process. You just sit down and award the contract.
Okay. All right.
There's no due process. And Nigeria cannot be able to, I'm not ready to say, we're getting value for our money. Government house, they say they finished. He did not start it. Somebody started, you won't finish it. Okay. How much has the president spent? How much did you spend? We cannot even know. We don't account for it. The amusement park, somebody have built that edifice. You come and do equip some. How much have the president spent? How much did you spend? These are the questions that needed answers. Not writing, I've done this, I've done that. It does not exist. You can hire 1 million teachers and pay the salary of 10 million people. You can hire 1 million teachers and pay the salary of 10,000 people. So does it add up? It doesn't add up.
All right then.
So the number of teachers does not connote output. The output, what matters is that you have to ginger it by what to do, give them.
All right then. Another major challenge is that business owners are complaining about multiple taxes and levies that discourage investment. I mean, if I was speaking to the governor, I'd have asked why this persisted despite his administration's promise to end such practices. Would you abolish these illegal levies, and how will you replace the revenue?
You know, because there's no engagement in all these taxes. There's no transparency of what is coming out of them. There's no value of what that man is adding to the Anambra State people. A man that locks his shop every Monday, he doesn't go to market. And even if he wants to go to market, he's hiding to go. A man that when he's selling, he'll be looking for that tomorrow.
Mr. Ukachukwe, I want you to answer these questions directly because of time. We're out of time already. So I want you to go straight to the answers. Would you abolish these illegal levies, and how would you replace the revenue?
For things to work, the revenue experts should be engaged to collect Anambra revenue, not out. And they must be accountable for. Everybody will hold accountable. We will account for it. everybody accounts for it. It must be done properly. And the people who are paying the revenue must be engaged in that revenue, fixing what they are paying. And then they'll be told what the money we used to do for them. So as they are paying, they are seeing the money going into those things that we say we will do. And they'll be happy at the end of the day, but we'll engage them. We can't tax them to kill their business. We must engage them to agree on what is doable and what we can do. And then at the end of the day, everybody will be happy paying, and then we'll be using the money to work for them in a secure environment. So yes, professionals will be engaged.
So let's talk about another, another big elephant is, Anambra community is sinking under erosion. Despite being one of the smallest in landmass, the state bears the tragic burden of being the erosion capital of Nigeria. People talk to us about how erosion has affected agricultural productivity and settlement patterns in Anambra State. And it has become a subject of debate if indeed this is a crisis far beyond the financial capacity of the state governments to manage alone. So what would you do differently?
Some of those erosion problems started small, and due to neglect of the government, it grew into that monster. It requires partnership with federal government and other agencies to tackle. But you should start from somewhere. When you start from somewhere, you can get help. And then when the help comes, it will be channeled properly. And then people would have seen where it has gone. So it's something that requires urgency and emergency approach. The erosion menace in Anambra is increasing every day. But if you don't tackle them at the beginning, like there's one now that started, it's very, very little when it started. And the government left it unattended to until it is becoming too big and the road almost cut off, and then now rush to go and do it. Why do you wait to that point that public money will be wasted to do it at that point when it's a little thing that can be done? Yes, it requires an approach that's most urgent in nature because it is alarming. And both state and federal government also must join hands together to get it tackled.
All right, great conversation tonight, and we'll continue to monitor developments ahead of the November 8th governorship election in the state. Thanks a lot for speaking with us, Nicholas Ukachukwe, APC governorship candidate, Anambra State. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Dimoke. Nice speaking with you.